If you're a person with a disability, you might need a home modification or be thinking of remodeling your home to make it easier or more accessible to live in. Before you do that, one of the things you might consider doing is working with an accessibility specialist. An accessibility specialist comes in and they put together a list or go through some questions with you on what you might need now or even in the future for your home to make it more accessible or to make it meet your needs. This can also be a service that someone who is a landlord could use or work with an accessibility specialist in an event that maybe you want to make your home accessible to be more available for people with disabilities. And this assessment professional can come in also and walk through the house and let you know what's needed, what could make your house either great for being minimally accessible or even to maximize the ability to rent to people with mobility issues. Basically what happens is the accessibility specialist comes out and they meet with the individuals who are needing the home modification, and they ask them a list of questions. They have a bunch of questions that are specific to a person's individual needs and disabilities, and those questions might include things like, what is your routine in the bathroom? How do you get on and off the toilet? Now these are questions that sometimes contractors wouldn't feel typically comfortable asking. Now someone who specializes in accessibility, we know that we have to ask these questions sometimes, but sometimes people don't know to ask these questions, and really honestly, sometimes consumers don't feel comfortable talking to some random contractor about their bathroom routine. Not only does the specialist ask them about their bathroom routine and what they do in the kitchen, how they make their food, if they're using a microwave or an oven, or where their food is laid out so that it's easy for them to access. They also have them show them those things, because sometimes people's perceptions are a little bit different than what reality is. So they might say, I can get on and off the toilet just fine. And the accessibility specialist will go in and see how they're transferring on and off the toilet and notice that they're grabbing a towel bar to get on and off the toilet, which eventually is going to fail. Everybody's favorite grab bar is the towel bar, and it's not, we all know, really meant for that purpose. But the accessibility specialist wants the consumer to really demonstrate that they can do these things that they're saying they're doing. Or they say, I can make my lunch all by myself. That's great. Show me how you do that. Where is your food located? I want to make sure that you're doing this safe so that you're not, stuff isn't falling on your head, or so that things are correct for you ergonomically. They ask a lot of detailed questions and then have them demonstrate that so that we really know that things are happening in a correct manner, that it's safe, a safe environment moving forward and now. So that's what they do. They ask them questions and then they have them demonstrate so that we all have the right knowledge to do this home modification. Throughout the process of the project, they're available for questions. So if there's a question from the contractor or from the consumer or even from the funding source throughout that project, they have that one source of contact that will know all the answers to those questions. And after that, when the whole project is done, that individual goes through and does a final walkthrough. They want to make sure that all of those little details, that there's a punch list, that all those little details are done, and if those details aren't taken care of, they make a punch list for the contractor to make sure that all of those things get taken care of. Because again, contractors are human and something might be missed. Something as little as maybe just filling in nail holes or something like that. They want to make sure that the consumer's needs are met in the end and that the funds are protected and that all those details are complete. Typically, it would be the person who actually is paying for the construction to be purchased or done. And so a lot of times that's a funding source. We'll pay for the accessibility specialist. And I'm really proud of where Minnesota is right now. We're ahead of most states where we are paying for the accessibility specialist as a part of the funding of the project. And I think that's really important because we are saving dollars in the end. and we are saving time in the end, and both of those resources are very important. And we are protecting the consumer in the end. So having the funding source pay for that is really, it's a great resource that we have here in Minnesota, and I'm very proud of that. But also, typically it would be the person, so if it's a person with a disability or the homeowner, then paying for that project, it would be that person paying for the accessibility specialist. Or if it is if it's the landlord who wants to make these changes for someone living in his home or potentially renting it out to somebody else, that individual would pay for the accessibility specialist. You can find an list of accessibility specialists on our website at accessibleHomesLLC.com. On the website, on the home page, on the right-hand side, you will see an icon that says Accessibility Specialists. Whether it be a low-interest loan, some grants, or even just some funding from the state. Those things, that list will be on our website as well. When you're thinking about your next remodeling job, think of Accessible Homes. And remember, some of the things that we do besides remodeling are install stair lifts, ceiling tracks, transfer systems, automatic door openers. We do aluminum ramps and anything related to accessibility. So keep us in mind for your next project and visit our website again at accessibleHomesLLC.com.